Hello, good morning and a very warm welcome to Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Road, Colombo. Joining me, as usual, is the veteran journalist, Bandula Jayasekara. Good morning, Bandula.
Morning, Fadas. Not veteran as you are.
No. And we are also joined this morning by the lovely Hirunika Premachandra, Member of Parliament. Good morning, Hirunika.
Good morning.
And it's lovely to have you on.
Been a while, yeah.
It's been a while indeed. Hirunika, but you've got married in this while.
Yeah.
You've broken the hearts of many young people in this country.
Well, you know, I know that I've got so many fans and followers, but
they all want to marry you.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't get married to each one of them. So I found a really nice guy, very loving and caring and
Political?
well, he has a political side, but he helps me a lot with my politics.
So he's not a politician himself?
No. But he's a cousin of a politician. So I'm really happy with my newly married life.
Oh, excellent, wonderful. And what of your legal career?
Well, I couldn't finish my attorneys yet, and I've been, sitting for exam for last couple of years because of the problems I had to face. I couldn't actually finish. Hopefully, my aim is to at least become a lawyer before I'm 30.
Right. We won't ask you how old you are now.
I'm 28.
But she said that in the Sinhala program.
Oh dear.
So that means you have to say your age also for us.
I'm about 85. Well, okay. And how is your? How are your troubles? Are they slowly ebbing away?
Yeah. And I'm very happy about the court case as well, because although the witnesses are very confident now, there are no threats or nothing like that. So hopefully justice will prevail very soon, and it will end in like 3 or 4 months because it's a trial and bar.
It is always better, isn't it, Bandula, to live in hope rather than with no hope?
Yeah, definitely. Hope and hopefully.
Right. Key words. As a member of Parliament, and you've been elected with a fair number of votes, so people must trust you, at least people who voted for you anyway.
Yeah.
What's your stand on conflict of interest? We see this happening all the time. We have, for example, lawyers who have progressed in life and entered politics, and some of them are now ministers. But their previous role, obviously, has been lawyers, for which they get paid by different people for their services. That doesn't mean that they can't become ministers. But when they do become ministers, should they deal with, say, a file that comes from one of their former clients?
My personal opinion is that the client or whoever, a friend or whoever it is, the person had paid him like years ago, and was a client of him like years ago. But it doesn't mean that we have to, like, whatever the relationship we have with that client, like when we become a minister, that wouldn't change. But at a certain point, like some point, we have to have barriers, and maybe just help him in a different way, but not like completely, because what I believe is, as a minister, we are bound by certain things, and as a lawyer we have ethics and...
Well, those are professional ethics, and when you're a minister they don't really play a role. So therefore, as a minister and as an elected or appointed public official representing the people, surely there are moral ethics.
And whatever the job you're doing, you have to keep the, well, how do I say, maybe the respect of that job, what you're doing.
So if you were the Minister of Justice, for example, and if you were a lawyer who had represented me a year before, 2 or 3, whenever, and I've paid you, and you are now the Minister of Justice, for example, and a file comes to you in the course of your work as minister,
Yeah.
dealing with me, would you be tempted to rule on that, pass judgment, or would you rather give it to, say, your deputy or another official?
Well, it's a moral. There's a moral side of it, and I can completely deny that I'm not going to help the person. But as a lawyer, the role is different comparing to the minister. So I have, I don't know. It's a very difficult question, but I don't know how to answer it. But I
Okay.
guess as a minister, the responsibilities and role is different. And I might, as my personal opinion, I might not get into it completely, but help him in a other way.
Good.
How, like, suggest how would you help?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Maybe you'd advise him to get a better lawyer.
Maybe, yeah, something like that. I would not, my personal opinion, I would never put my hand into legal system or try to change or anything like that. I would never
you
go
won't fix
against my,
that.
yeah.
Well, those are good professional ethics, isn't it? But Veronica, as a member of parliament, as a people's representative, doesn't it frustrate you when you see so many matters where the people have been given hope are not being addressed?
Yeah, I am myself frustrated a lot because I am one of the people who went against the previous regime and always stood up for the truth and always stood up with the current president. And we said so many things on our mainly in our meetings, and we said that we are going to, make sure that all the culprits are behind the bars, and nothing is happening at the moment. And
Indeed.
people are very disappointed, and mainly, like, we are the people who are mingling with all these people who are in the actual,
masses.
yeah. And when they ask us questions, so what is happening and
And
why
that
is it not happening? We have no answers to give. So basically, what I think is that there are certain procedures. So we can't just go and arrest somebody and lock him up and just there is a judiciary system in this country and a legal system in this country. So there are certain procedures. So what my request is to all the people who are watching is just wait for it, and hopefully something will happen, something will come up, and we are not going to. As a public figure and mainly as a politician who always stand up for truth, we will not stop the fight. We will always talk about on behalf of people.
And at least, what we appreciate in you, Hirunika, is you're honest, and I think we should tell her that, that you're honest in your talk of the conflict of interest. I think that's appreciated by the viewers.
Indeed. But the people have shown that there is a limit to everything, and there's a limit to their waiting, as President Rajapaksa found out to his enormous cost on the 8th of January. So the people of Sri Lanka are very dynamic, proactive Democrats, really. And once they've given him a chance, they felt that it was getting out of hand.
Yeah.
And so they voted where it matters and voted him out. So obviously I'm glad you say that when you go to the people, you are troubled by what they are asking.
Yeah, because we are representing them, and they have faith in us, and we have to answer those questions. If we fail, then that's the end of it. Like,
Right.
that's the end of our career as well. And people have proved that they have the power. Previous President Mahinda Rajapaksa had everything.
Yeah.
He had media, he had forces, all the forces, he had
Yeah.
power, he has money, he had everything. But apparently people showed that people are more powerful than any of those things he had. So this could happen to anyone, even the present president as well, present prime minister as well. So what my personal belief is that we have to, as politicians, accountability
Right.
is a must as politicians, as public figures.
Well, you know, you're very forthright and very honest, and that's it's wonderful.
That's the only reason I'm here, I guess.
Wonderful. It's refreshing, actually. It's rather like having a crisp apple. But there's a long list. You know, there's the avant-garde matter. There's the issue of the Attorney General's seeming inaction or whatever. Then there is the all-time favourite, the one that this new government started off with, something that Ajit Nivard Cabral and Mahinda Rajapaksa together couldn't do, also known as the central bank bond issue. Then there is the highway robbery, where a company that was appointed by the previous administration criticized in this manifesto, though not by name, by implication. And then there is the FCID, where they have investigated so many and only managed to put 2 or 3 people away in remand. And then their efforts are being blocked, in effect blocked by various other interests. Then we have an awfully slow legal system where on average there are 900,000 cases that are referred to the next year. And those are the matters that are bothering the public. On top of all that, if you ask your mum, I presume she's in charge of the house. Well, in your house, you'll be the lady of the house. But if you ask your appu,
I don't have one.
You don't have an appu? You
I
cook yourself.
cook, yeah.
Do you shop yourself?
Yeah.
Then you'll be in the best position to know what I'm talking about.
Insanely,
that the prices have gone up and
lot.
up and up. And what are these people doing? What are they doing?
See, this is my problem as well. Like, yes, I'm a member of the current government.
Yeah.
But I'm here not because of anyone, but because of people, because of their votes.
Yeah.
And I'm representing them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just defend anyone just because to, maybe for any kind of gains or nothing like that. I don't want that. But what I'm saying is, these people should understand that we were like talking about this change, like we've been talking about it for a long time, and then somehow we changed it. Not us, but people changed it.
Yeah.
And now they're expecting that change, but if it's not happening, then now actually what I always say is like, both governments are the same. Nothing has changed. So I think as mainly people who can do something, who are in those positions, should actually look into this matter very seriously.
Not apart from the people voting for you, some media, of course, has backed you.
Yes.
I wonder who that is. The Capital Maharaja
Definitely, because I was nobody. When my dad's, when his case came up, nobody helped me. It's mainly government channel, they denied. They didn't actually come to court cases, nothing like that. Only Sirasa came. And I always say this, even to your chairman, everybody, they all know that I'm member of Parliament Hirunika Premchandra only because of Sirasa. Because for a politician, media is very important, and the Sirasa had been there for me from the beginning, where I was nobody, I was no one, and they asked me to come and interviewed me, and always showed up court case almost every day. So I want to thank them.
Were you born in 1983 or after?
After 1987.
So you wouldn't know then, but isn't it remarkable the journey that this company, this group, has come from 1983, because we were brought down, burnt, 6 factories burnt, and so on, and we're very proud today that we're sitting here on national television, all from the same group.
I had a long chat with the owner of the company like few years ago, and he actually told me the whole story, how he and all the others
I want to write that story, so maybe when this program finishes, I'll come and see you and you can share those
For us,
thoughts.
I think what is important here, is, I think, like you said, you're very refreshing, but what we would request on behalf of our viewers, that don't change. Now you are being forthright, I think that's what we need.
Even the Sinhala program also, I said the same, that's my main challenge, because most of these politicians are very radical and very straightforward when they're young, and they always tell the truth, and we could see that even Mahinda Rajapaksa was like that when he was young, and with the power and with all these things they changed. But I really believe because of my character and the way I am, people love me, and if I change, then my political, not only my political career, everything will I might just be nobody. So I'm here because of my character, and I will never change it.
My good colleague hasn't changed for us at 65. He still gets
65.
Yeah,
85.
But I want, sorry.
Sorry.
No, I want to ask that, has the corruption stopped with the new regime, or is still continuing?
Well, we want to believe it has stopped, but apparently it has not.
Well, it can't be. There are all sorts of fights.
Because I'll tell you why. Just because we changed the hierarchy, when we go like
so a few layers down.
Most of the people are from the same the previous government, so they are used to stealing. They're
addicted to theft.
So there's no point of just only changing the main few chairs, but we have to change the whole system, because if, as I said before, people change when the government, with the legal, even the legal system change with the government, judiciary system change with the government. So the government should give us a example, by changing. So if we can't,
actually, our dear Prime Minister, him again, may be tempted to say that you are radical, but actually, in our view, you are radical because you say the things you say, but you appear to have a vision ahead, and that's very encouraging. But I do hope, as Banduli said, and you'll hear it from this network if you do change, because we will tell you.
And also, I'm sure this Sirasa, it's like it's like
we're the opposition. We're the opposition.
And if I change, or if I become like another politician, then obviously the first one to attack me, or first one to just criticize me would be Sirasa, the people who actually built me up. So I know.
What I want to say is, there are members of your government, the government that you are part of, that are also being accused of, by the people anyway, of their participation in this unholy thing called corruption. Does that bother you, when you meet them in Parliament and you
a lot? I don't even talk to some of them, because it's because I'm very disappointed, and mainly I was talking to Palita Thevarapperuma, another member of Parliament, yesterday, and he said the same thing, how it's very difficult to face the public now, because we said that we are going to change everything, we are going to change the system, we are going to change this ministry post, and we will make sure that only people who are educated and people who can do something will hold this kind of prestigious post. But apparently it hasn't happened, and I'm not going to take any names.
No.
But very sad sometimes when I see those people in front of me. Like, I'm just thinking, these are the people who ruined the previous government. Because of them, the good name has been ruined.
Don't you think that President Rajapaksa could have been the all-time favorite, but instead he didn't. Having got the adulation of the country, he failed miserably, really, to deliver on national unity and on reconciliation.
What I believe is, like, till 2010, he was everybody's favorite. After winning the war, people around him, mainly the people who are very close to him, they tried their own thing. They tried to change this person, and I know him personally. He's a very humble and down-to-earth person. Otherwise, just being a normal member of parliament, becoming the president is a very, very hard work. He had done it he had many ups and downs in his career. And what I believe is, he let people steal. He let them do whatever they want.
So I don't think he was a willing accomplice then.
In this now, in the present regime, have you got to join a club to become a minister? For example, the young Buddhika Patarnation is not in that club.
He's a very independent guy. I am also independent. That's why I always say I
then
never
you may
go
not
after.
have. You may not get
not,
any position.
but I will always have my people. See, we are there because of them, because of their votes, and I'm just normal Hirunika Premachandra became Madam Hirunika Premachandra.
Oh.
People call me Madam now.
I'm so sorry, madam.
So only because of people, and that's why I say that as politicians we are accountable.
And how is your legal mentor? I've forgotten his name, but Mr. the one.
Paraliyadda.
Yes, and how is he?
He is actually a little bit sick. He's other than
Still
that,
inspiring you?
Yes, he's one of the best. He's like a walking library. I've learned so much from him.
Who's the President's Council? But I have a question, Hirunika, from a viewer from Nigambo, who watches our program. He says you talk about corruption. Your mother took a presidential advisor post, and all others. Your father too was a presidential advisor. What have you got to tell this viewer about?
I'll tell you what has happened. True fact, which was my father never built a house for us. He was completely. He never if anyone can just find that out. We have nothing. Not a personal vehicle, not a personal house, because he was not interested. And when I wanted to go to UK and study, I had 2 A's and 1 C, which I wanted to go to the law faculty, but I couldn't. So I got elected to art faculty. But I had pleaded my father, please let me just go. He said, okay, I'll somehow, give you money for your education, but you have to make sure the accommodation and the expenses, you have to make sure that you find that. So my father was like that. So what has happened when he died, we didn't have any place to go because we were at government houses, and we had a letter to leave the house. And my mom couldn't do anything. My mother went to the president and asked.
You in UK at the time? Were you?
I was. Yeah. No. I was in Japan at that time because I had some threats, and my mother sent me there. So my mother went to meet the HE and asked, can you just solve this? And then as the procedure is that if you want to live in a government flat, you have to hold a government position. So because of that, he gave that position. Other than that, my mother didn't go and work there. So as a favor, he did.
I absolutely love the honesty, don't you?
Definitely, But again, we say you should really continue with that. That's, I think, what people are looking for. This is the change I think people want.
No, see, I will always tell the truth, and if I See, my only plan is to change the system. As a youngster, I have that in my mind, and probably in like 20 years also, I want to just change this system, and people to be like, if we take UK or USA or Canada, we can see public figures just traveling in a public transport. It's not a big thing. But now in Sri Lanka, a country that we can't even find people can't even have their 3 meals properly. Like, we have that kind of problem. We don't have enough food to eat. But yet these ministers and these member of parliament just, how much they it's all public
and
money.
Transport ministers has never used public transport.
Yeah, never. It's not only that. The cars and the vehicles they use and all this, it's public money. And it's completely stealing. So
but Hirunika, Faraz, with your permission, my question is, are you disappointed that Rosie Senanayake was not elected to the parliament?
I am, because she's one of my mentors. And the other thing is, like, when we look at, I'm sorry to say, but people like Geeta Kumarasinghe, who's just, I don't know how to put that into words. But
she's not this program's most favorite person, by the way.
I don't think most
she didn't come.
Like, most of the people who we say that educated, or people who are not ignorant, they understand, they know how to, how to just, how do I say that? Anyhow, they know when they look at a politician, how to identify a good politician. So when I look at Mrs. Geeta Kumarasinghe, I feel a bit shame.
So you're a bit disappointed.
Disappointed.
So. Can I because we don't want to turn this morning to a knock Geeta morning, even though you didn't turn up on time, Geeta, and you didn't turn up at all. Indeed, it's unforgivable.
No, like, we need people like Rosie Senanayake to represent UNP.
Why are you, because we're running out of time, why are you not participating in this Protect the Children campaign?
I would love to. Like, which is
yes, we will.
I would love to, but I don't know how to, get
We will
involved.
get somebody to call you.
Yes, please, because that is something I really wanted to do, and I always talk about children, and I wanted this death penalty to come.
And how many children do you want to have?
5.
Wow, there's a political dynasty in the making there, folks.
No, I guess as a mother to this nation, that is something that is my responsibility, to have more kids. Like, I did, I would say that I did something to my country, like to have good 5 kids.
It's been lovely having you on our show. Thank you very much, and we look forward to welcoming you.
And I never thought this would be this fun. I thought this is a political.
It is politics.
It's
and
not
thank
politics.
you very much.
You're making fun out of politics.
It's about all the gossips happening.
Thank you very much, and don't wait to be invited. Do join the campaign to protect children. A thought for the day: regret for the things we did can be tempered by time. It is regret for the things that we did not do that is absolutely inconsolable. On that note, I wish you a very good morning, and take care. God bless.